Welcome to another session of Teams in 20. Today we are going to be looking at town halls. So if you're familiar with live events and you're now looking at what the new experience is with a town hall, then we're going to help you with that. So I'm going to step you through what is the town hall, how do you get that set up, what does the experience look like from an organizer, co-organizer, presenter and attendee, and then I'm going to leave you some awesome resources. So if you haven't met me before, my name is Jo Johnston. I'm a Senior Customer Success Manager here at Microsoft, looking after some of our amazing local government customers. So let's get started. Now, before I take you through my demonstration, just want to give you a quick update. So live events for commercial users will be retired on the 30th of September 2024. So date for your diary. Town halls will replace live events. And although town halls are there now for you to go and play around with, live events are still going to be side by side so that you can transition nice and easy into that new experience. But I've tried it. There wasn't that much difference. In fact, it feels like it's a lot easier to set up and run a town hall. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So let's go and have a look at that demonstration. And let's see if you think the same. So this is a demonstration that I've pre-recorded just so that we can get it all in on time. Let me know what you think. So we're going to start off with the town hall. So new meeting, select town hall. And then this is going to give me a typical invite screen. So I'll maximize that. I'm going to pop in some details. You can see we've got more details down the left-hand side. We can select details, theming, emails, reports. I'm going to take you through these. But let's just give our town hall a name. So this is going to be a Teams in 20 town hall. Give it a start date and a time. And then I'm going to think of a brief description for my town hall. And I'm also going to start thinking about who are my co-organisers, who's going to help me with this event, who's going to present. Have I got any external presenters? So you can see I'm down as the organiser here. I'm under mod administrator, but my co-organisers, I'm just going to pick somebody, one of my colleagues, Adele, and then I can also select presenter. We see when it hover over, organisers can manage the event but cannot publish or edit event details. So as a co-organizer, Adele has got some abilities but not as many as an organizer. I can add my presenters, so all they can do is present, but then I can add my external presenters. Maybe I've got somebody who's not my tenant, so they've just got a Hotmail address, and I'm going to be able to invite those too. Now they're going to get a separate link there, so it highlights that you get a unique joining link when you're external. So a couple of other things to think about. Is this an internal to your organisation event, or is it public? If I click public, that's great, but I can send the copy of the link out to everybody. But you see here, it says only allow invited people to join. That's blanked out when it's public. If I set this to my organisation, I can further restrict that only certain people at my organisation can join. But in this case, I'm just going to make it public. I can save that. It's very important to make sure I save it, otherwise I can't carry on. And I'm just now going to go into external presenters. And you can see here, I've got that unique joining link, and that is for my external guest presenter. I can go down to theming and I can change the image and the logo. So I'm going to select an image. I'll pick my Teams in 20 image from here. Pop that in. I can resize that a little bit. Click save. And I can also change my logo. Pop that in there, press save. And I've got a
default template there with all the logos that I want. Now I can also go down to emails and see what that would look like in an email invitation. And I can go and edit that once it's been published. Let's go back up to details. I'm going to press publish on this. And attendees will get those invites, but I haven't actually added any attendees. Yeah, I'm going to come back and do that in a second. I might just want to copy the link actually and pop that in a separate invite. It depends however you want to do it. But you see I can do that copy join link there at any point. And I could just copy that into an existing invite or a page that we've shared. Can you see there now it says your event has been published, to make changes or send events to more people, add them and then save. So the minute you send save, those invites are updated. So I'll just give you a bit of a look to show you what that looks like. So this is to my external presenter actually. You've been invited to present in Teams in 20. Now you'll see it hasn't taken my theme in for this invite. That's only because I pressed save before I made the edits to the theme. So if I had made the edits first and then sent it to that presenter, they would have got the Teams in 20 view that you see here. So they would have got this look. You can actually do a little bit of a preview as well and just see what it's going to look like when it goes out to everybody. I'll make any edits as well. You know, I might want it to be signed off by a certain person. I might want to add some more information, and I can go in and do that there. So clicking back into the meeting invite again as the organizer. Just going to have a look at some of the options at the top here. So you can see we've got chat. So this, you know, it's just going to be chat between the presenters and the organisers. If there's any files that have been shared, they'll be up there. Attendance areas where we're going to be able to go back and see who attended the event. Just on the files section, actually, you can upload other files. Maybe there's content that you want to share for that event and you want to make sure it's there. Now, I've got breakout rooms here, but actually you can't have breakout rooms in a town hall unless I'm missing something, but attendees don't get the option to join a breakout room. So I'm not actually sure why that's showing there at the moment. Now moving on to Q&A. So I could start a discussion, I could ask a question. You see they've got different icons for whether it's a discussion or question. And then I've got these settings as well. So do I want people to be able to ask questions? Do I want people to be able to reply back to questions? And that's key. Do I want people to have anonymous posts? And do I want to be able to moderate those questions? So do I want to be able to check them and then publish them? So you've got various ways there to actually lock down. It does say if you click on moderate questions, you can't go back after you've pressed that. Another great thing you might want to do is forms. So do you want to poll people during your session? Just a bit more, because obviously they can't do your typical chat. How do you want to gauge how people are feeling during your town hall? So do you want to ask them some questions? So you could quickly just have a new poll that you want to draft ready to go, that you can launch then during your session. So I'm just going to pick this suggested poll, actually, a bit of an icebreaker. How you feeling? Get people a bit more engaged at the beginning of the session, and I'll launch that during my my event. So I'm now going to join my meeting or my event as the organizer. I'm just going to leave the video and the audio off for now. So I click join now, and let me just show you the navigation screen here. So top left hand corner, I've got information about whether the event is encrypted or how encrypted it is, how long it's been on, whether the event started, how many people are viewing it. and then the usual meeting buttons that you would see. Now, this is going to be a different view from what an attendee is going to see, and I'm going to show you that in a second. You can also see that I can leave or end a meeting. And then I've got this big red screen here. That's going to be my live screen. So whatever I put in that red box is what's going to be live when I start the meeting. And then on this left-hand side, you can see that I've got this off-screen area, and my colleague Adele has joined, also known as Kermit. But this is where all my presenters or co-organisers are going to be. Now that is off screen, so it's not visible to anybody joining the meeting, only visible to presenters or co-organisers and organisers. Now it says there, bring presenters on screen and share content that you want attendees to see. So if I press share content, that content will be presented in that square. If I drag a presenter on, or I'll show you that in a second, they're going to be in that square, or that rectangle I should even say. Now I've got Adele here as one of my presenters, and if I click the three dots next to her name, I can select bring on screen, and that's going to bring Adele's video footage onto this screen here. Now Adele is actually joined by her mobile, so you can see we've got this smaller screen here. And one thing I should definitely say is at the moment Adele is muted. You can see she's muted. I cannot unmute her. She has to unmute herself. And although that I'm not on the screen, if I was unmuted myself, then people would be able to hear me. So just because I'm not on the screen does not mean that people can't hear me talking. Now I could add myself as well, bring on screen. I've not got my video on, but you see the view that I've got now 2 presenters, which is great if you wanted to do some sort of fireside chat there. And to just take myself off, just undo those 3 dots again. I can also share. So if I click share, I'm going to be able to share content. I can't share in PowerPoint Live or presenter mode whiteboard in this town hall yet, but at the moment I can share one of my windows. So I'm going to share another screen that I currently have on. So you can't see the content here, but it says you're sharing your screen right now. So I know I'm sharing, and it's moved my presenter to the right hand side there. So when I show you the attendee view, you'll get a better idea, but the screen has got my PowerPoint presentation in, and my presenter is there on the right hand side. And I can take her off if I want and put her back in that off screen area, and we'll just concentrate on the content for now. I can also pin her. So I might have, I don't know, 20 different presenters, and this screen quickly fills up. Now I might want to pin certain presenters because they're the ones that are going to be bringing in on a screen more often, and you can just, that helps you just manage that left hand rail there to make sure that your presenters are ready. So once I'm ready, I can start that meeting by clicking that. It's going to tell me, are you sure? Press the meeting. This is how many people are already waiting. And as soon as I press that stop, it's going to start recording. So you can see now I'm now live. I've not got anybody watching at the moment. I can go in and share content. I could have the speaker up first and they could be talking, and then I go and bring up the content when I have that presenter on the right hand side. Now, one thing I also wanted to call out was joining as a presenter from a browser page. So at the moment, in my invite, I invited Megan to come and be a presenter in my town hall, and she's joining here from a browser page, but she's going to get this error message. And it basically just says that she needs to join using the Teams app rather than the web page if she is a presenter or an organizer. So I just wanted to call that out because I'm sure that will cause some confusion, and we want to make sure that people are set up for success. Now, I haven't actually invited any attendees, so in my invite I could add people or groups to get this invite, or I could just copy the link and send it in a different format. But I'm going to quickly add Miriam as an attendee, and we're going to have a look at what Miriam's experience is going to be. So I added her and I've pressed save. And then Miriam is going to log into the town hall as a attendee. I'm just going to have a look at the experience that Miriam's getting. So she's just reminded that the mics and the cameras are off. I can just dismiss that box. And then you can see here her navigation options are very limited compared to a normal meeting. So she's got captions and she's got Q&A. So she can ask a question in there if she wants to. So let's ask a question. Does Microsoft, if I can spell it right, love Muppets? Who doesn't love a Muppet? I'm going to post that question. I could obviously add a few bold and italics in there as well. Now, if we flip over to the organizers view, we'll be able to see now we've got one person's joined, and we can go and have a look at the Q&A in there as well. So let me just click on that Q&A button, and you'll see I can see the questionnaire. Now I can decide whether to dismiss that or publish it or just delete it. So I'm going to publish that question, and then I can go into that published area and just reply to that question. Give it a thumbs up, respond back to that. Maybe I want to share a link or something to the Muppets. But yeah, you see the typical options there. If it had been dismissed, it would then be in that dismiss bucket. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a side-by-side view. So I've got my organizer presenter view on the left-hand side and my attendee side on the right. You remember I created that form or that poll? I'm going to just launch that poll now. So I've selected it from my list there. I click launch, and it's going to just pop up on my screen. So it would only pop up on that attendee screen, and then they would get this view and they could quickly pick their option and press submit. I love polls. You know, you can do those instant polls as well. Like you've got down the bottom here, some ticks and thumbs up and hearts and things like that. So if I wanted to use one of those, I could do. It's not going to catch anybody's names, but you know, there might be certain points of the session where you just want to say, you know, how does everybody feel about that? And people can just give a quick thumbs up. So I'm just going to leave these two meetings now. I'm just going to go back into that details of the event, and we can have a look on the attendance tab now. Now you can see who attended, what their roles were, what their engagement was, did they have their video on, did they post any questions, give thumbs up. Just gives you a bit of an idea of your level of engagement within your town hall.
I'm just going to leave you with some useful resources. I love the section that tells you what the difference is between live events, town halls, and town halls with premium, because obviously there are some extra features in there and you want to make sure that you've got them. Let's have a quick look at some of those areas. So the switching from Microsoft Teams live events to town halls. That's the chart that I've included in the slide deck. Gives you a little bit more information, talks about the different roles, you know, to manage what attendees see, etc. The second link there is a comparison, a feature by feature comparison. What's the difference between a webinar and a town hall? You know, that's a question we get asked all the time. So you can go through each of the individual features and just take a look there. So we know that PowerPoint Live is something that people want to see in town halls, but it's not currently there. However, I do know that it is on a roadmap. So last resource here is just this great blog. This is where I'd probably start, introducing town halls in Microsoft Teams and the retirement of live events. So you're going to get some information here about when that's happening, how you can start thinking about using town halls going forward. And that is it. That is everything for today. So thank you so much for joining us, and have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you.